I'm here with Juergen Bossert, and Juergen, you live in Berlin, I believe, and you're an organizational development consultant. And I understand that you want to tell me some things about noticing, and noticing certainly has a lot of benefits. So I'm very curious what you wish to say.
Yeah, I just noticed this week that noticing is a very, very important possibility, and at least it's really something what any consultants have to have.
Okay.
Because without noticing, I think you can never be of service for your clients.
Okay.
And this noticing is not only noticing what is around, it's really as well noticing what is in yourself and preparing you with this noticing. And during these noticing exercises we run through during this nice Genuine Contact Summer Academy this year, I really recognized most consciously all the different layers or levels of consciousness during these noticing exercises I did.
Okay. Now, I know you to be an exceptionally good consultant, and I know that you noticed before. I mean, you noticed all sorts of things in service to your clients and to make sure that you help them to get the best possible outcomes. So I want to really stress, like you mentioned it, but I really want to stress, you are a very sensitive person, and you were very capable of noticing things before you came and you took this particular Genuine Contact Way workshop, in which we did put a big emphasis on noticing. So you're now talking about something called a shifting consciousness that goes along with noticing, and I wonder if you could give even an example of something that you did personally with noticing, and then what your personal journey with that was, and then we can talk about how that you think that applies to what you do with organizations.
First of all, I think in my situations before this week, I was doing a lot of noticing on the mental level, and probably as well on the emotional level.
Okay.
But what I learned this week, at least, I was less clear on spiritual level and even more or less on physical level.
Okay.
And this was surprising for me as well. So I was doing a lot of always noticing what is on a mental level in the group and what is on an emotional level on the group, and how I can really support this group to develop or whatever during my work with them. And these days I really recognize that there are some combinations of this always. When we think on the medicine wheel tool, and we have in the north the mental and in the south the emotional level, and then on west and east the other are both. I look at this as some pairs as well.
Okay.
And I even can imagine if I strengthen my physical consciousness, I will absolutely strengthen as well my spiritual consciousness at the same time. And feeling more these levels of energy, and not only then the real physical ones. And I really think that in the future, the most important thing doing with companies is to step more and more in doing energy work.
Okay.
And therefore you really have to expand the spiritual consciousness as well, from my point of view.
Thank you. And with a noticing exercise, just so that people don't think that this is too complicated, in this workshop, every day, each person was asked to spend 30 minutes in the morning and then 30 minutes in the evening to be out in nature and with a pad of paper and a pen, and to just notice what was to be noticed, and then to write down whatever you noticed. And different people had different experiences with that, but the whole noticing for a whole 30 minutes, I think at first felt like a strange exercise.
I really didn't feel it strange.
Okay.
It even was so much fun and joy for me that I decided not to take it only during some exercises.
Okay.
So to do this noticing with a lot of fun, let's say more and more all the day. So I just after the first exercise, I really had the impression in myself that I'm noticing much more during the whole day.
Okay.
And I really didn't have to do this 30 minutes noticing now, so because it was really expanding everything during this whole week.
Great. And we were working at helping each of you to get more in touch with your noticing for your mental, spiritual, emotional, and physical consciousness, as those 4 streams of consciousness and 4 dimensions of self. And if you can bring them all into the situation, wherever you are in your everyday, then you can use much more of what could be thought of as your intelligence to handle everything. And it's fun.
That's right.
And you start, sometimes even I think just giggling, like you see something, you notice something you've never noticed, and then there's joy. And I think one of the things you noticed was you ended up in joy for, I think today's day 7 in a row.
It's already day 8. and what I'm really conscious about now is that it's always my choice.
Okay.
If I be in this joy or not.
Mm-hmm.
And this has to do with noticing as well.
Okay.
Because it's really up to me what I really will have within me when I'm noticing something. And if I start to judge or whatever, or just notice and be joyful that you are able to notice the situation like it is.
Mm-hmm.
And this was a great learning as well for me.
Great. Thank you very much, Juergen.